Good morning all, let's continue following the lead to Laqua. After one heck of a cliffhanger, they've arrived to the place where heaven and earth meet. It's named more after the high elevation rather than Lucius's Big Bang, who Rayquaza wasn't with, but kept around waiting for the crew. It defogs the mist and unveils Laqua, where the OG explorers trek through. After that, Rayquaza needs some R&R, which was cute? As cute as a creature that can eat you could be. From here, Pokémon decides to lead the way, and Laqua's got a lot of quirks. To start, the berries are supersized to the point that some resemble eggs. It's also unusually warm due to the underground heat. It doesn't seem related to Lockweum since there's no scent of terrestrial energy here. Maybe Heatran's hanging around. This place is also in the shape of a crater. It seems to me like a paradise that some Mons carved out for themselves. Much like the treasure trove of rare Pokemon the OG explorers noticed, the RBTs get a peek. Notably, a bunch of starters and legendaries. Action Replay gone crazy. There's Meganium hanging around, Torterra about, Frogadier and its crew, Feraligatr, a Primarina, Ivysaur and its evolution Venusaur. It'd be wild if this was the native place of starter Pokemon. Maybe that's why they're considered rare in their respective regions. Or do Pokemon just happen to stumble upon Laqua since it's such a peaceful place, even rival species get along? Come on, ants cuddling with anteaters? Even typically aggressive Mons are at ease here, which leads Freed to speculate anyone who comes here must be welcomed. That is a little too trusting for my taste. Actually, it reminds me of the Mewtwo special where Team Rocket hunted down Mewtwo and his clones atop a mountain. They wreaked havoc on that haven, much like Laqua was told to be in. Though, all the creatures here are unbothered. Adorable too that it was Dot's first thought to fill Penny in. After all the scrappy Pokemon of Area Zero, the ones here are just chill guys. It's a place that feels casual, including the legendary settings they get like Viridian and Zapdos. The environment's suitable for growth due to it being imbued with special energy, and I just wonder why it attracts rare Pokemon in particular. Maybe they're so highly sought after that this is like an escape for them. Pokémon puts them to work and they trek until sunset with ex-hermit Dot keeping up the best she can. Eventually they decide to camp out, and I like Freed's line about fieldwork not getting done in a day. This episode continues the string of laid-back ones. Makes me curious what they're saving that budget for in the next few weeks. Once things are settled, the kids lay back and stargaze. Lots of aspects of this saga have felt climactic. The trio phoning home, and now time spent to reflect on the journey. Memories of how far they've come, conveniently leaving out the filler. Even taking us all the way back to the early episodes where I know my reviews were rough. In a sense, it's been nice to grow along with them. Almost got emotional even at the thought of bidding farewell to more characters I've gotten attached to. Liko even acknowledges how it feels like the adventure's coming to an end. Key word being might, deliberately leaving it ambiguous. It leads her to ponder if Pokémon will stay behind and she'll have to say goodbye to it. Although, like her buddy's reminder, Ristal says the turtle chose Liko, so I think it's for keeps. The two help pick Liko back up, which helps her come to the conclusion to just enjoy the moment. That wraps up the night, and I do hope Beheeyem got some inspiration. In the morning, they make a base camp and decide to leave all their valuables there for some reason. They're being as trusting as the Laquamons, but it will make it easier on foot. Krako sets some ambience for us before hitting the next milestone, a stone that Freed investigates with a Thunder Punch. This Laqueum resembling stone has traces of terrestrial energy, so it turns out it's the barrier Terrapago set up. To enter, it's up to Pokémon and its new trainer to work together. Pokémon goes into its stellar form, and with that energy removes the barrier. Liko did a great job of supporting it. Instead of scoping out ahead, Freed has trust for the kids to fend for themselves. They are observant, usually. To be fair, that Squishy was in a rush. Finally, they take some real steps towards the location of the incident. Till, just as schemed, the explorers lock in and block their path. From the flashback pictures that have been painted, it was nice to see Laqua in real time. It's got a lot of strange things going on with the environment. I still mostly can't help but wonder why it attracts the Pokemon it does. It's not limited to type, region, or anything like that. Also, it is peculiar how such a cash grab location of Bonds has gone unnoticed for so long. Now, what will happen since the word's getting out? I thought the most interesting segment was the nighttime talk. Like, they're asking us, the audience, what happens next? Lots of theories are floating around, the end of Horizons, a return to Paldea, or even a time skip. Personally, I think the trio has at least another year left, if only to buy time for the next gen. Whatever direction, I'm sure it'll become clearer in the upcoming weeks as the final battle approaches. But we are still missing a key player. It looks like things really ramp up next week, but this week's episode I'd give a C.